All right, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Stars Hall of Fame Committee, I'd like to thank the members of the news media, in attendance for this news conference to announce the selection of inductees for the 2019 class of the East Orange Hall of Fame. I'm Darrell Jeffrey, the DLJ Communications Group Facilitator and Consultant to the East Orange Hall of Fame Committee. The third gala event will be held here at the Cicely Tyson Performing Arts Center on Saturday, November 30th at 6 o'clock p.m. in the newly dedicated Gene L. James Auditorium. A class of 30 inductees were selected in 5 categories: arts and letters, performing arts, civic and community, enterprise, and sports. This news conference will proceed as follows. Statements and comments will be made by East Orange Hall of Fame Chairman, the Honorable Theodore N. Stevens II, followed by Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Kevin West, followed by Representative Justin Brown, representing the Honorable Ted Green, Mayor of the great city of East Orange, and then we will have some comments from a couple of our inductees in attendance as well. With that, I give you now Ted Stevens, the Chairman of the East Orange Hall of Fame Committee.
Thank you, Darrell. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's always a pleasure to stand before you and to just on this auspicious occasion as we unveil the honorees for this year's induction into the East Orange Hall of Fame. First of all, I want to thank Darrell and DLJ Communications Group because certainly one of the benefits of doing this is that East Orange being the kind of town and city that it is, we are always pleased to work with those who are from our city, who have been involved for such a long period of time, and DLJ certainly fits that bill. So Darrell, we want to thank you and Trish and everybody who part of DLJ for making us successful as we have been. We stand here today on the third occasion. It's the third time that we have had an induction into the East Orange Hall of Fame, and this year's class is equally as robust as the last 2 classes. In other words, we got a lot of people who are coming in to the Hall of Fame. We're getting to the point, in fact, where I think that Darrell and I are getting ready, and Dennis will feel like we're the only ones not in the Hall of Fame. But don't feel that way, because clearly there's a lot of Hall of Famers out here. It's just that some individuals have not had the opportunity to be inducted quite yet. But we're going to rectify that for some folks on this occasion. This year's program will be held on Saturday, November 30th, here at Cicely Tyson School in the Gene L. James Auditorium. And the doors will open at 5 p.m. for general admission, and the event itself will start at 6 p.m. Now, we are here on our third occasion, not by happenstance. We owe our success to so many people. And first and foremost, I want to thank Dr. Kevin West, who has been the superintendent of East Orange Schools, who has done a tremendous job. I want to give you a round of applause. So, I will have Dr. West. Dr. West, would you like to give some words at this occasion? We'd love to hear from you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to be very brief, but I did want to just take this opportunity to first of all thank everyone for coming out. And most importantly, I want to thank the Hall of Fame Committee for all of the hard work and dedication that they do on a regular basis and on an annual basis. Our prosecutor, Essex County Prosecutor, Ted Stevens, along with the entire committee, they do an almonds job, making sure that this event gets better and better and better each year. This will be the 3rd annual Hall of Fame program that we've had. And I can tell you, the first one, I just was blown away. I was amazed. I think everybody was. The second year, it was even more spectacular. And I can imagine what this year is going to be as well. So on behalf of the Board of Education here in East Orange, myself as a superintendent, and the entire East Orange school community, we want to first of all commend you all. We want to commend all of our inductees, some who are here today and all the others that will be inducted. being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I'm just amazed and delighted every year with the talent and the unique skills and ability and the tradition that comes out of this East Orange community. And we should be very proud of what you all are doing, but also proud of the tradition and the talent that has come out of the East Orange city of East Orange. So commend you all and congratulations, not only, like I said, on my behalf, but on behalf of the East Orange School District, and I can't wait to be a part of it. I want to also just acknowledge a couple of people in addition to the Board of Education. We have our Supervisor of the Arts, Mr. E. Colson. You want to just wave in spectacular job every year, making sure that your talented students' performances and everything is all coordinated and it's looking good. I also want to congratulate and thank one of our principals, who is, I would probably say, one of the icons here in East Orange, and I know that he will be in that Hall of Fame soon. Mr. Hamilton, you want to just work as well? And I want to thank our principal, our new principal of this school here, where you'll be happy with this program, Mr. English. Mr. English, you want to give and our district school safety, anti-bullying, and school culture and climate specialist, Mr. Bender from the district. Thank you so much and have a fantastic event.
Thank God for that. Yeah, Hank is here, certainly, and just as we all know, is from our 2018 class. And one of the things that we are looking to do with our inductees is to make sure that this is not a one-time occasion for somebody like Mr. Hamilton. It wouldn't be, but one of the benefits of having this induction ceremony is it gives some people an opportunity to come back to the city that they haven't been to in a long, long time. So once we make that reconnection, we want to make sure these individuals stay involved, and so we now deem them ambassadors from the Hall of Fame. And so once they do that, we want to encourage them to continue to come back and to give to the school. One of the individuals who was in our first class was a gentleman who invented the sideline headset. John Hooper. Who was that? Sorry? John Hooper. John Hooper. And what did he do? He made a donation of that sideline headset to the East Orange football team. So they're state of the art. So we had the opportunity really to benefit for not only the city, but also they have to feel good about their particular city, having come up here and having not been here for perhaps a long period of time. Before I finish with the Board of Education, I'd be remiss not to also acknowledge the Board President, Terry Tucker, and members of the board who have done a great job supporting us, and we thank them for their involvement as well. Also, with regard to the board, none of this program would not have been possible without the efforts of the students who are here, who are not only grace this particular edifice, but are active participants in everything that goes on here. First and foremost is the group called the Thespians, and they have done the leadership of Mr. Lemon. They do a tremendous job, and I'm so impressed with them from the very, very beginning. And their participation is essential to having had the two previous programs successful. We look forward to continuing to do what you are doing for us this year as well. So we thank you for that. And in that regard, I'm sure those that come to the program, the students do learn a lot about the history of East Orange, and the ticket price gets in the way sometimes. So we want to announce that also we're making at least 50 tickets, hopefully 100, but at least 50 tickets available to students within the school district to come at no cost, because it's important for them to come to really get a first-hand experience in terms of the great history which comes from the city of East Orange. It's much more varied and exhaustive than I even thought. Many of us involved, we all learned a little something about the history of East Orange. Maybe right along. Let's see where we here the program. Whatever it is. We are streaming live. Oh, we're on. I better act right. We're streaming live today. But my jacket, so that several countries around the world and globally, it's indicated that when the event starts, ticket prices for the event is $50 for general admission. We have a VIP event also, which is $100, and the tickets can be purchased on our website. Our website, which is much more robust than it ever has been, at HOFFame.org. Let me say it again, HOFFame.org. And also on Eventbrite. Go ahead and sell the tickets here. But before I finish with the students, though, I have to say that the things that go on here at Cicely Heights School, and Equal Coast has told me all along, so many great things go on here. This is the 10th anniversary, I'm told, of the events being produced here at the school. And they're going to reprise some of their more successful productions that they've done. First and foremost, I think, is Fences, which is going to occur on, I believe, the weekend, the 26th of this month. So that for 3 days, I believe it is, 26th, 27th, and 25th, 26th, 27th. So by all means, anybody who has not come to an event that produced here, you're in for a treat. So we want to continue to support everything, not just the EO Hall of Fame, and everything that goes on here in the Board of Education here in the city of East Orange. Over the past 2 years, East Orange Hall of Fame Committee has provided academic scholarship assistance to college-bound students and has supported community service initiatives of a varsity football teams and other events here on campus. The establishment of the Hall of Fame provides a lens through which we can share an authentic and compelling narrative and tell it like it is and tell it like it was here in the city of East Orange, with the goal of being able to predict how it's going to be. So we can use all of those experiences and individuals who come before us to hopefully motivate these young folks and know that the sky is the limit in terms of everything they can do. In addition to our ambassadors today, our ambassador here today, we have 2 individuals who will grace our hall this year into the Hall of Fame. And so I'd like to invite each of them to come and give a few words. First and foremost, I'd like Mr. Marquise Bragg to come, who is a former NBA star here from the city of East Orange.
Well, first off, I would like to say it's an honor to be inducted into the East Orange Hall of Fame. I'm a lifelong resident of East Orange. Actually, Mr. Hamilton was my principal. Now he's the principal of my children. And I currently reside in East Orange. My children also are active in the youth service programs that we have in East Orange. It's an honor to be here. Never did I think that I would actually be here. But I would like to say that East Orange made a very big impression on my life. And the opportunities that happened after high school were all based off the experiences that I had in East Orange. When I first came to East Orange from Newark at a very young age, I lived directly across the street from South Park. So in that retrospect, that's why I learned how to become a basketball player. I never knew I was going to be a basketball player. I didn't start playing until I was in high school. But experiences and seeing the guys in front of me that played the game somehow molded me so that when the opportunity came for me to become or have the opportunity to take advantage of those things like college scholarships in college, I was prepared. And East Orange Public School System also prepared me to be able to not only receive the scholarship right out of East Orange Public School, but to maintain it and graduate in 4 years. And after that, I've always come back to East Orange every year. I live in East Orange and I love East Orange. We go to the games with the kids, we go out to the parks with the city, with the kids, not only because my kids are there, but because I like to see what East Orange is about. And pretty much every aspect as far as basketball is concerned, East Orange was at the forefront of that. Elmwood Park, East Orange Summer League, Solid Park, Rochester Park, we live in those places. And actually it's a great honor to see my kids doing the same thing. And things have changed a little bit, but they haven't really changed that much because the communities are pretty much the same as it was when I was growing up. And I feel comfortable saying that I'm happy to have my kids in East Orange. And hopefully one day I will be blessed to be able to see them be in a position like this as well. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I love East Orange to death. If you ever see my posters on Facebook, you always hear me say East Orange for life. And I really believe that. Like I said, in a lot of different ways, East Orange molded me, prepare me for all the blessings that I have moving forward. And hopefully I'll see you, well, I will see you guys on November 30th. Again, thank you for the opportunity again. I appreciate it very much.
November 30th at the Gene James Theater. That's right. Gene James Theater. Not to get it twisted. But you know, so funny to hear Bragg say that Hank Hamilton was his principal and is his principal. I think he was everybody's. That's right. There's no expiration on his principalship. He's the president in perpetuity. But also, our next inductee is the young lady who, when I first started working here professionally in the city of East Orange, we worked together under then Mayor Cardinal Cooper and have just stayed friends throughout. And she is one of the quintessential community activists we have. One of the largest and most prestigious families here in the city of East Orange. My good friend was Tracy Mumble.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much to the Hall of Fame Committee. I feel like we are all family, and in East Orange, we truly are. Thank you so much for honoring me. You know, when you honor me, you really do honor my family, my 41st cousins, and my over 62nd cousins, the Mumfords, the Wilts, the Olivers. One of my cousins, of course, Clyde Richardson, was honored just 2 years last year. And the family turned out and turned up, and we're just so excited because this is home and it's forever home. So, and as I look at the people that I'm going to be honored with, I just have to say that I'm really humbled because each of them, I don't know if I know some Shingles, but I certainly know the rest of them. Annie Moore was a dear friend of my mother's, and in fact, one of my organizations, the Montclair Drifters, actually picked up the program that she did with providing white shirts and ties for the basketball players. And so I'm just so honored to be on the same docket as her. Certainly Mr. Moss. I mean, Mr. Moss still looks amazing. He just turned 90 a couple of months ago, I think. We're recently honored. Miss Blake. You know, I recently took a photograph of Miss Blake, and I just said, this is legacy. And what can you say about Mr. Miles? He began and created the foundation for youth sports in East Orange. I'm sure there was someone before him, but he really created the infrastructure and really the framework for our kids to participate in sports and really soar. And we thank God for him every day because he is the one who allowed so many of my relatives and so many friends and other children to really have an opportunity to do sports. And so I'm so honored to join my colleague here. And you know, growing up in East Orange has been amazing. The other day I came through 18th Street and I said, Dad, 42 still looks pretty good. And then last night somebody said to me, did you walk on Springdale? I said, yeah, 323. And I said, the house, as it is still my house. I said, it doesn't look that good. We have to do something about that. But that's how you feel about East Orange. You love the people, you love the land, you love everything about the city, and that's in your hearts forever. So I'm honored. I can't wait till the 30th of November. I call it homecoming weekend. I don't know if I called it that or if created that, but it really is a homecoming weekend in East Orange. And one of the most important things is that to whom much is given, much is expected. And so my family has already caucused to say, you can't just accept the award and say, I'll continue to be a member of the Montclair Drifters, of which I served as president and on the national board. You can't just be a member of the North Jersey Lynx. But instead, what we decided to do was to really expand and solidify our footprint as Mumfords and Wilts. And we are looking at, and we'll be soon announcing, a legacy project based in service to others and really just being the shoulders that our young people can stand on. So I'm really excited about that. My family's a little annoyed at me, but they're also excited and they are on board. And so we are ready to go, and we'll tell you more about that really soon. So thank you, and God bless everybody.
Thank you so much. And so you can see why, we We talked about having served in the city under then Mayor Cardinal Cooper. We have a great mayor currently who does run the show here for the city of East Orange, Mayor Ted R. Green. And representing the mayor today is from his office, Mr. Justin Brown. Justin, let's come forward.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chairman, Prosecutor Stevenson, Mr. Jeffries, Superintendent, and honorees. On behalf of Mayor Green, the Honorable Mayor Ted R. Green, I just want to congratulate all of the honorees of the 2019 class. Some who I personally know, but I would, Mayor Green's initiative and his vision throughout the city of East Orange is to have one city, one community with one goal, and that goal being progress. And this event, this committee, and the class of 2019 is definitely a part of that progress. We want to say thank you to everyone and congratulations to the 2019 honorees of East Orange.
Thank you, Justin. We could go on and on. We have so many more individuals who could speak. I'll leave that at the general's discretion if you want to invite any more folks up. But from my standpoint, we have set the stage, I think, for a tremendous third inductee class, along with the mayor and the city council and the Board of Education and everybody in the city. The support for the East Orange Hall of Fame has been second to none, and those of us who toil in the vineyards to make sure that it comes to fruition feel enthused by that and we're empowered to continue to do what we've been doing. Part of this process is an education piece, not just for those who are students here, those on the committee, and myself. I learned so much about it, and one of the individuals I found recently who was from the city of East Orange is a former Associate Justice of the New Jersey Supreme Court, a gentleman by the name of Stuart G. Pollock, who I called on the phone, who is only 86 years old, and after his 20 years of service on the New Jersey Supreme Court, went back into practice, and he's practicing in Morristown. He invited me to lunch yesterday. And so I went with him and had lunch with him in Morristown, and he told me how he was born here in the city of East Orange, and how he felt so just honored that we would call him, and that he wants to do things for us. And so he will be in attendance, God willing, like all the rest of us, and we will just celebrate him and so many others. So I think it's an opportunity for all of us just to remember the greatness of the city, to be educated in some ways as well, but to celebrate more than anything else in terms of what we've done. So at this point, I'm calling on all the loyal and faithful of East Orange, the natives, the gold, and those who are newer residents, but those who love the city, to come and join us on the occasion of November 30th here at 6 p.m. when we induct our third class to the East Orange Hall of Fame. I thank you for your kind attendance and look forward to seeing you all then. Carol, thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Stevens. We would like to recognize Hank Hamilton, who was Principal Hamilton, of course, who was inducted last year into the East Orange Hall of Fame. I'd like to bring you up to say a couple of words, briefly. Come forward, Principal.
That would be nice.
Not counting the city, how can we not recognize them?
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank the committee. I think we need to give the committee a big one mistake, and that was the first, I won't mention that at that time. But I did make the second round, and you know what, my chest is still sticking out, because really, to be in the Hall of Fame, Marcus, I brag about it all the time. You know that? Because I'm proud of people like you. You know, I remember you and your sister and your mother and father was always there for you. That's why you became a great partners. I didn't take you one-on-one in basketball like you mentioned. I took Marcus to basketball one-on-one in beat him, but I think,
I got to get my son on video playing him one-on-one.
let me tell you about this. When I first came to East Orange, I came from Norwalk, Connecticut, played I was 8th graders. The score was 34-32. I had 32 the points, and we beat the 8th graders. That was Whitney's brother, Gary, that was Drac, and that was Terry Harris. They were like that. So I'm proud of that fact. But Tracy, I recall your father, Donald, 10,000 people at Martin Stadium. My family was beating East Orange. Judy, Orby Lewis, the great Orby Lewis from Martin, and came down the came with one young lady ready to go to the sideline, downhill, another over there, fumble, and Judy Walker picked it up and ran for a touchdown, and they won. Your brother, your other uncle, Chuck, he was a fullback, and I was a halfback. So what I'm saying, I know so many different people here. Wally Flores, your father, outstanding football player for Purdue, and then I think he played a little professional football as well. That's what makes me feel so good. There's so many people here at East Orange. Daryl Durr, he's a twin. Did you know that? He's a twin, and plus his mother and my sister went to nursing school together. And so we go back years, and they were friends of my nephews and what have you. So when he became what he is today, I'm very proud of him, and both his brother and his mother and his father. So being involved with these, you came by school all the time. Is that correct, to play basketball? Did I let you in?
Yeah, we beat Franklin all the time.
You beat Franklin all the time? But the fact is, we became a man of real estate. This man did a lot of money or whatever. But again, my coach being full, they weren't here. We go on and on. But let me do this now. You'll give tickets to the youngsters? I'm gonna buy 5 tickets for my kids. You will not have to ask me for something, because I will always be for this committee and for the people here in East Orange. I think I need to keep my mouth closed this time. Thanks a lot. Thank
you. Just before we open the floor to questions from members of the news media, we are going to now read into the record the East Orange Hall of Fame 2019 class of inductees in 5 categories, beginning with arts and letters. The Honorable Alfred Slocum, J.D. The Honorable Stephanie Bush Basquet. Dr. John Langston Wolpe, Kevin Hudson, and Dr. Marcus Anthony Hunt in the arts and letters category. In civic and community service, Yvonne C. Blake, Lewis and Miles, Leanne Shingles, Leon Moss, Annie B. Moore, and Tracy Mumford. That's the civic and community service category. In the enterprise category, Tyrone Brown, Esquire, Dr. Sonia S. Hutchins, Eke, the George E. Cushing Funeral Home, the Honorable Sherry Hutchins Henderson, Alfred Clapp, Esquire, and the Honorable Stuart G. Pollock. That is in the enterprise category, those inductees. In performing arts, Jean L. James, Tabari Sturdivant, and Barbara Curry Montgomery. Performing arts. And in sports, Clifton Thomas Baskerville Sr., Wallace Lawrence, Dr. Stephen Cowan, Wiley Williams, Marquise Jamal Bragg, Major Reginald Henry, J.D., U.S. Army retired, Lee Sager, Kim M. Fisher Sr., Odell A. Rowling Jr., and Albert Meningall. Those are the 30 inductees for the 2019 class of the East Orange Hall of Fame. I'd like to recognize those members of the Hall of Fame committee that are here today: Dennis Perkins, Steve Cooper, Secretary Romy Florence, in attendance here today. All right, with that, I'm going to open the floor to the members of the news media for questions if they have. Any questions? Nothing? Hearing nothing? Seeing nothing? We'd like to thank all of you for attending this news conference today. We are excited about what will be unveiled at the the induction ceremonies on the 30th of November. We're proud of the work that we're doing to preserve and perpetuate the legacy of the great city of East Orange. The people, the places, and the institutions in this great city that has had an impact nationally and globally. And so we're proud to recognize that and our proud tradition of excellence in the great city of East Orange. So for now and on behalf of the committee, I'm Darrell Jeffries. Thank you all for attending this news conference, and we'll see you on November 30th. Thank you.